It's the witch! She's followed us here!
Let's take a quiz. It's 5 questions. You will do great. I bet you're all feeling pretty good right about now. Well, you failed. Big time. After you pick your jaws off the floor, keep your eyes and ears peeled, because you all got an F-. I got these questions from a speaker I listened to, Jeff Joyner. I keep mentioning in my videos that I want you to check the facts. No matter how good something sounds or logical, be polite, go along with what the person says, but then go home and check up on that. Because a lot of the news you hear is not all right. With these questions that I gave you, someone at some point started an answer or a comment, and it just kind of kept going along with time. People picked up on it, and they also used the same conclusions without checking their facts. Ostriches are the fastest animals on 2 legs and are able to run 40 miles an hour for a short time and 30 miles an hour for 10 minutes if they need to. They are about 9 feet tall and 350 pounds. If threatened, their kick is powerful enough to kill a lion. So this myth could have started from this. When it's time to start a family, the ostrich digs a massive hole measuring between 6 and 8 feet wide and 2 to 3 feet deep, and they bury their eggs in there. A few times in the day, the ostrich will put its head in the hole to turn the eggs. This only lasts as long as it takes because, guess what? They need air too, so there's no way that they're going to stick their heads in the ground. This is what Wikipedia tells you. July 4, 1776 for the Declaration of Independence. And this is why I tell you to never trust Wikipedia. And this is why I tell you that YouTube is ridiculous when they put their Wikipedia link on my and any other YouTuber's video, because they don't agree with some controversial topic. It was actually signed August 2, 1776, because July 4th was when it was adopted. Aristotle lived about 384 BC to 322 BC. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, after 1,000 some odd years, that medicine could have, possibly changed? Because Aristotle is credited with coming up with the 5 senses. Today, there are not 5 senses, there are over 20. Sight, taste, touch, pressure, itch, sound, smell, proprioception, tension sensors, nocioception, equilibrioception, stretch receptors, chemoreceptors, thirst, hunger, magnetoception, time. Bloodletting used to be a practice too because doctors believed that it got rid of the bad things in the body. Guess what? We don't do bloodletting today because it doesn't get rid of bad things in the body. It only causes infection. Sugar does not make kids hyper, nor anyone. There is no science to back this up. Associate Professor Barbara J. Strupp at Cornell University believes that this is a parent's preconception about sugar. So let's talk about sugar a little bit. When you eat something that has a lot of sugar, your blood sugar level goes up. The higher your blood sugar, the more insulin your pancreas releases. Insulin counters the amount of sugar that's in the body. So when the sugar is carried out, your blood sugar level drops dramatically to the point of low blood sugar. That's called hypoglycemia. So what does that look like? Signs and symptoms are hunger, anxiety, dizziness, lightheadedness, headache, increased sweating, blurred vision, moodiness, inability to concentrate. If it's extreme, you also begin shaking. That doesn't sound like a hyper kid to me. Making paper destroys forests. That is false. Paper is made from cellulose fiber, and companies like Domtar have managed forests. That means it's a paper farm where there's a certain acreage of land and trees that are used specifically for paper only. So they're not going around cutting random trees in the world. The concept of managed forests means that for every tree harvested, several more are planted. According to the USDA Forest Service, 4 million trees are planted every day in the United States. Of this amount, the wood and paper product industry plants on average 1.7 million trees daily. In Canada, natural regeneration is supplemented by the planting of 600 million seedlings per year. Paper is bad for the environment. No, it's not. For every tree that is harvested in a well-managed forest, several more are replanted. As young trees grow, they absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. As a wood-based product, paper also continues to store carbon throughout its lifetime. And if you want to read the rest of this yourself, there are a number of credible and independent certification systems that help to ensure certified paper originates from responsibly managed forests, and you can read the rest for yourself. Making paper consumes a lot of energy and fossil fuels. Making paper the first time around does require a lot of energy, but over the past several decades, the pulp and paper industry made an impressive commitment to fuel efficiency and independence. In fact, the forest products industry leads all other manufacturing sectors in on-site electricity generation, meeting more than half of its own energy needs. At many mills, self-generated electricity goes beyond serving on-site production needs by providing supplemental electricity to the surrounding electric power grid. How very nice of them. Paper has a high carbon footprint. Actually, it's not as high as you think. A carbon footprint is a measure of the impact that human activities have on the environment in terms of the amount of CO2 and other greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. Burning fossil fuels such as natural gas, oil, and coal is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. The pulp and paper industry largely utilizes renewable energy sources that are considered carbon neutral to generate steam and electricity. This means that the CO2 emitted from their combustion is organic in origin and is viewed as neutral in terms of climate change contribution. Sustainably managed forests are approximately carbon neutral. They form a mosaic across the landscape in which the growth of trees over a large area will compensate for the carbon loss through annual logging of a much smaller area. Recycled paper is always better for the environment than virgin paper. Not really. Recent peer-reviewed life cycle management studies have demonstrated that the environmental benefits of recycled fiber in the production of business papers can vary greatly depending on the source of the paper being recycled, its prior destination, landfill or another use, and the facility where it is being recycled into new paper, trucking distance, and the facility's impact on climate change. This means that the entire process from start to finish has to be taken into consideration. That would determine if the paper is recyclable or not. Same thing with plastic bottles. Only some plastic bottles are recyclable, and if you're not sure, just recycle it anyway. That way at least there's a chance and you're not throwing it to waste. Hopefully this was a good eye-opener for many of you, and most importantly that it would teach you to always check your facts. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so you can get updates for new videos and answers to your comments.
Educate yourself!